busy few days of hockey coming up for the Mason City Toros, and it starts on Thursday night when they take on the Wilmer Warhawks before going on the road for 2 games against the New Ulm Steel. We're joined today by Toros assistant coach Marquise Cotten, and Marquise, a busy stretch here in a lot of ways. How do you keep everyone kind of ready to go? Because we're used to, you prep all week, play Friday, Saturday. This week is a short week.
So it's a little bit different approach to it. So what we like to do is just kind of get back to our look and what we want to accomplish over the next couple weeks of our season, and kind of gearing up toward the middle of the season. So we just kind of do more of a team identity kind of look for the week, get everybody back on page and get everybody going.
Certainly keeping track of guys' minutes and making sure guys aren't getting overused. That's got to be a part of it, I imagine, as well, correct?
Yeah, definitely. So we want to make sure that we're using the whole lineup, and our top guys are still getting their minutes, and the guys maybe that aren't our top guys are still getting some good minutes so that they can come in and contribute as much.
Is it hard to prep for 2 teams like this, where we've had weekends where there's one game on Friday against one opponent, and the next day you're playing another opponent? Is it kind of difficult to spend the week kind of preparing for 2 when one game obviously comes before the other?
On the coaching side, not so much. You just take it a day at a time. But as far as what we give our players, we tried to not give them too much and, just kind of keep them focused on what the task at hand. And then we tackle the next one when we get to it.
Let's talk about the first opponent, Wilmer, coming up. What are some things you've taken away from when the Toros faced them earlier this season? You took 2 games, faced a lot of shots against them, but goaltenders stood tall. And one of the recipes for those couple of games was the top line really doing a lot of work. But since then, we've seen a lot more depth scoring from this team as well. What are some things you're keeping an eye on about Wilmer?
So they're a highly skilled team, and, they can go with the best of them. So we're looking to actually just kind of impose, like I said before, impose our game on them and make sure that we're sticking to what we know that we can do well, and kind of impose that against them. And we are looking for some more depth scoring this weekend.
Talk about how that third line has really come together. Dylan Schmidt, 4 games in a row with a goal. Shota Kaneko has been lights out since recovering from injury. He's got a goal and several assists as well. What's been the key for that line's success? It seems like speed has been a key factor with all 3 players on it.
Yeah, so that line in general, they're just overall they have a good mix of responsibility in the D zone and a lot of speed that moves the puck up the ice. And Schmidt has a good shot, so we like to let him loose on that shot a little bit more and let him get his scoring opportunities.
It sure was strange not seeing the top line get any goals this past weekend against Granite. Of course, only 3 goals overall for the Toros. It was strange not seeing that much offense, but those are the types of games you guys had to figure. What's, kind of the message to the team as a whole about trying to find the back of the net more? Is it kind of just sticking to the approach, or is it something else?
No, they didn't get a goal, but, they had a lot of scoring opportunities and a lot of ozone possession time, which is what we look for them from those guys, and the whole team kind of chipped in on that. We still had a decent amount of shots, so that's all we can really ask of those guys, and just keep chipping away.
And lastly, looking back at that past weekend against Granite, you start with Friday's game, kind of a slow start, fought hard late in that one, and I felt that really carried over to the second game against Granite City because, of course, forcing overtime, but a really entertaining game. I felt like both teams played about as well as they could have, both offensively and defensively in that one. I think it was good that was the final game of that weekend stretch. Would you agree that was the one that ended, unfortunately, of course, with the overtime loss?
Yeah, we had a much better game, and I think it carried over from the third period of the game the day before. And we were kind of proud of our guys for, stepping up to the plate, playing a 60-minute game for us. And, we're just looking to build off of that this weekend and rolling in 3 games this week and do better.
What's the biggest thing that has to improve to walk away with a really impressive weekend here?
Well, we want our guys to find the back of the net, so just keeping that scoring chances high against all the teams, not just the Granite Cities or the Wilmers. We want to keep it high all year long, and eventually those pucks start getting to the back of the net.
Awesome. Well, Marquise, best of luck this weekend. 3 busy days coming up.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was Marquise Cotten joining us, and this has been Toro Talk.